has ordained your deliverance today, but the way you are behaving. May the Lord have mercy on us in Jesus' name. In the book of Zechariah chapter 3, don't forget our text is Psalms 82. I'm just doing all of this to show you the scope of God's government and why God had to stand in the congregation of the mighty. Are you still with me? All right. Zechariah chapter 3. And he showed me Joshua the high priest standing before the angel of the Lord. This is a heavenly scenario. In fact, this is heaven's court. And Satan at his right hand to resist him. And the Lord said unto Satan, the Lord rebuke thee, O Satan. Even the Lord that hath chosen Jerusalem rebuke thee. Is not this a brand plucked out of the fire? Now Joshua was clothed with filthy garments and stood before the angel of the Lord. And he answered and spake unto those that stood before him, saying, take away the filthy garments from him. And unto him he said, behold, I have caused thy iniquity to pass from thee, and I will clothe thee with a change of raiment. Verse 5 is where I'm going. And I said, sorry, who is I? Huh? I need an opinion, please. Somebody say God. No. Zechariah was the I. It means Zechariah was in that court. You see, the way God's justice system is different from our courts today. Before God gives a judgment, one of the ranking princes must suggest that judgment. Now, there was a court case. The priest of the territory was brought to court because there was an invasion of darkness in his city, and his priesthood was supposed to provide cover and protection for that city. And since the city was invaded by darkness, he had to be summoned to court. And when he was summoned to court, guess what? The accuser was there. Satan was present with his full capacity as a legal practitioner. He had accusations against the priest of the territory that was supposed to bring about the required priesthood intelligence to seal the city from invasion, and he failed. The princes were there in the court. I don't want to go into the proceedings. It will take time. Those utterances, this is what we call the war of thrones. So I don't want to go into the proceedings, the things that transpired, the implication of the comments that God made, the implication of the accusation that the devil was setting forth. I'm just showing you the layout to show you that Zechariah was part of that court. And it was Zechariah's suggestion, being a ranking personality, that passed, that God approved, and that became the verdict of the throne of heaven. It was actually Zechariah's suggestion at court. So it's as if when cases are being brought to this great court, the great king will say, okay, you have heard the case. You princes, what do you have to say about this? I know you have forgotten that Jesus said that we'll sit on 12 thrones judging the 12 tribes of Israel. I know you have forgotten that. And so you live on earth like a charlatan, lacking the ability to command deliverance unto Jacob, because you do not have an understanding of the status that you occupy in the courts of God. It's that status, is your status in that realm that determines what you can command on earth. Your jurisdiction, your capacity, your ability derives from that court of authority. Now, so Zechariah was present there, And Zechariah was still a human being, and he was still alive, but he had a place in the court. Did you get that? Now, so I don't want to press further. If we press further, we'll get lost in talking. But my objective is in the book of Psalms 82. And the Bible says that God was standing in the congregation of the mighty. And the purpose for which he stood was so that he could bring judgment to the gods. Unfortunately, the people that he has put in places of